Let me ask you something. Have you ever been having a tough day, picked up your phone and just started scrolling? Maybe looking for a distraction, maybe just for a little bit of comfort? Well, what if the next time you did that, your phone actually talked back? And not with a bunch of notifications, but with what felt like real understanding.
See, that's where things are getting wild. For millions and millions of people all over the world, the answer to that question isn't just a friend or a therapist anymore. Nope, it's an AI. It's kind of happened quietly, but artificial intelligence has become this new digital confidant, a silent partner for us in our most vulnerable moments. And when I say AI and mental health, I'm not talking about some far-off sci-fi movie. This is real, and it's happening right now. We're talking about therapy chatbots like Wobot or Zyada, which actually use proven techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy to help you work through your own thought patterns. Or think about mood tracking apps that learn your personal rhythms, AI journaling tools that help you make sense of your day, and even wearable sensors that can pick up on the physical signs of stress. It's a whole new world of support, and it lives right in your pocket.
So let's dive into the good stuff first, because the promise here is honestly revolutionary. This isn't just about making things a little easier, it's about totally rethinking how we approach mental wellness for everyone.
You know, one of the biggest walls people hit with mental health care has always been access. Things like where you live, how much money you have, or even just the stigma around asking for help. These things stop millions of people, while AI tools can just smash right through those barriers. It doesn't matter if you're in a tiny town or a huge city, these apps offer a private, totally judgment-free space to get support.
And this part is absolutely critical. A crisis doesn't wait for business hours, right? AI is there for you at 3 in the morning, on a holiday, or in that split second of panic when you just can't get a hold of a person. That constant availability isn't just a nice feature, it can be a literal lifesaver.
Okay, now here's where it gets kind of mind-blowing. One of AI's superpowers is its ability to see the future. Well, sort of. By looking at tons of data, the words we use, our sleep patterns, how active we are, these algorithms can spot tiny changes that might signal a mental health challenge is on the horizon, often way before we even notice it ourselves.
And this isn't just a cool idea, it's been tested. Check this out. One recent study had an AI analyze social media posts, and the results were just staggering. The AI could spot signs of suicidal ideation with over 93% accuracy. And get this, it often identified a coming crisis a full week before human experts could. That is the kind of early warning system that AI makes possible.
But, and this is a huge but, with any tech this powerful, there's always a flip side. For all of its amazing promise, AI and mental health opens a Pandora's box of really serious risks. We absolutely have to talk about the other side of this coin, because the dangers are just as real as the benefits.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. You see, therapy isn't just about crunching data. It's about connection, trust, and shared human experience. An AI can learn to say the right things, but can it truly feel empathy? It might understand that you're sad based on data, but it can't share that feeling with you. And that human element, well, that's everything.
Then there's the giant issue of your data. And we're not talking about your shopping history here. We're talking about your deepest fears, your private struggles, your entire mental health history. This is probably the most sensitive information that exists about you, and when you hand it over to an app, you're trusting a system that can be shockingly easy to break into. The scary truth is, a lot of these apps just aren't secure. One analysis looked at 27 of the most popular mental health apps and found that a staggering 74%, that's nearly 3 out of every 4, had critical security risks. Their data was leaking out to third parties, including advertisers. And this isn't some hypothetical threat. Just look at the Vastaamo data breach in Finland, where thousands of real therapy records were hacked and used to blackmail people. It's a real-world nightmare.
And beyond the data leaks, there are deep psychological risks. What happens when we get too emotionally attached to a machine? What if the algorithm is biased? Or what if it gives you advice that's just flat out wrong or even dangerous? Tragically, this isn't just a what-if scenario. There are documented, heartbreaking cases where people in crisis have had conversations with AI chatbots that were later linked to acts of self-harm and even suicide.
So, all of this leads us to the central, most important question of all. What is the right role for AI in our mental health? How do we find that sweet spot, that perfect balance between the awesome power of the machine and the irreplaceable wisdom of a human being? The whole debate really comes down to these two words: augmentation versus replacement.
Do we see AI as a powerful co-pilot for human therapists, something that helps with data analysis and frees them up to focus on the patient? Or are we heading toward a future where the AI is the therapist, making its own decisions about our care with no human in the loop?
This table lays it all out pretty clearly. An AI is incredible at sifting through mountains of data to find patterns a person might miss. But a human therapist is the one who can take that data and interpret it with real empathy and a deep understanding of who you are as a person. An AI follows the rules it's been given. A human has to make tough ethical calls based on the situation. And that last one, accountability, that's the real sticking point.
Because the stakes are so high, governments and regulators are basically scrambling to catch up. Things like the EU's AI Act or new rules being debated in the UK are trying to build guardrails to make sure these tools are safe and ethical. But it's a huge challenge.
And that challenge has a name: the accountability vacuum. Think about it. If a human therapist makes a mistake, they're held responsible. But if an AI gives harmful advice, who's to blame? The person who wrote the code? The hospital using the software? This huge legal and ethical gray area is one of the single biggest reasons why AI will probably never fully replace a human professional.
So where do we go from here? Look, this technology is here to stay. It's not going back in the box. But the most important thing to remember is that we aren't just along for the ride. The choice about how this tech shapes our world, well, that choice is ours to make.
At the end of the day, this is what we have to remember. AI isn't some magic savior, and it's not a digital monster. It's a tool. And just like any tool, whether it helps build a better world or causes real harm depends entirely on how we decide to use it. Its future in mental health comes down to all of us demanding ethical design, smart rules, and responsible use. And as we start using these tools more and more, we have to keep one simple idea front and center. Technology should serve us, not the other way around. It should make care better, amplify our own strengths, but it should never, ever come at the cost of real, authentic human connection. Because that connection, that will always be at the very heart of healing.
So, I'm going to leave you with a final question to think about. As these AI tools get smarter, sleeker, and even more convenient, every one of us is going to face a choice: convenience or connection. It's a question we all need to ask ourselves, because how we answer it is going to define the future of our own mental health.